This is not about being very dark or very light or whatever. This is about making sure that the African human color spectrum is always presented in a way that's accurate. Hello all, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. For the people who are new to my channel, welcome to my channel, and I hope you subscribe. And those who've been with me, I thank you so much for your support, for your continued support. So I hope a lot of you have watched the movie Black Panther. If you haven't, you are missing out. Please go ahead and watch it. Absolutely beautiful movie, and all the accolades that it has gotten so far are so well deserved, and it's doing so well at the box office, and I couldn't be happier. I even started a Facebook group, and I have to say that a lot of people have given the movie kudos, and they've done an excellent job, very, you know, like eloquently put. So I'm not going to add any value there. I agree wholeheartedly with what has been said about the movie, but none of us are perfect, and that is the point of this video. Where I feel the movie missed the mark is on the issue of colorism. For the last 400 years, we understand the context under which this movie was created, and it was so necessary, and we need more movies like it, not less movies, because it's important for young kids who are growing up, especially black kids who are growing up, in fact all kids, to be honest with you. But we understand the context of the last 400 years, or the last 100 years of Hollywood, and how it has presented to us this one view of what Africa is, right? And I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm about to say, because I'm very happy with the movie. But as I said, none of us are perfect, and I think the movie missed a mark on this. To me, it played to the stereotype of what it means to be black person, not black experience, because I think it did an excellent job in terms of showcasing the diversity of Africa, of what an uncolonized Africa probably would have looked like, because Africa, if you know the history of Africa, was in the forefront of a lot of things until colonialism, like a disease that cripples a healthy body, came in and kind of destroyed all of that. Okay, so we agree on that one. But as I said, Hollywood has done a horrible job of giving us one view of what an African looks like, right? Many times, and I know you're probably thinking, come on, a lot of light-skinned blacks have been on television. But if you really think about it, a lot of black people that were light-skinned on television were not black enough. I'm sorry, I have to use those words. They were not black enough. And again, I'm not saying that they should never be put on television. They should be, like every one of us should be put on television, but we should be very careful in falling to the trap of swinging the pendulum from one extreme to another extreme. I think where the movie failed is not showcasing that Africa is very diverse, not only in terms of what we are culturally, tribes and everything, but in the color of our skin. Yes, there were light-skinned Africans. Angela was a light-skinned African. I would consider her a brown skin. A lot of South Africans, as you already know, first of all, I'm African, okay? And I come from a family. Within my family, we have me and we have my sister who's very, you know, like dark. And within my extended family, we have pretty much every color. And so it's important for all of that diversity. If you can have that diversity in one family, you can have that diversity in one country, and you can have that diversity in the continent. And if we have that, I believe that moving forward, we should always make sure, be aware, be conscious of making sure that we don't continue to pigeonhole what being an African is. As you know, I took a DNA test, okay? And my DNA test proves that I'm 100% African. So where does that leave me as an African? And also, in addition to that, if you look at most people who've taken DNA tests and posted them here on YouTube, a lot of them, they're very dark-skinned, but they're not 100% Africans. Okay, right there should tell you something about what it means to be African. A great example is Nikki Perkins. She's an Australian YouTuber, and Nikki is only 86% African, but she's so dark, but she's so beautiful still. Okay, and so for me, this is not about dark versus light. It's really about showing Africa's color spectrum when it comes to people of Africa, so that we don't continue to, like, when I came to America, no one would guess that I'm South African. No one. Okay, and that's partly because we've had this one view: you either mixed if you're light-skinned African, or you're either a very dark skin African. And as I just said, Nikki Perkins is a great example of the difference between what it means to be African, okay, between light-skinned Africans and dark-skinned Africans. And again, there's no beef there, okay, because my sister, who I love dearly, is very dark-skinned. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making sure that we present Africa in the most accurate way, and that's very, very important moving forward, so that nobody ever wonders what, you know, like, oh, so we never really feel that there should ever be a beef between what it means to be light skin and dark skin. Having said that, I totally understand the need to represent dark-skinned Africans. I totally understand that, don't get me wrong, and mainly because of the context of racism. Racism was really designed against dark-skinned Africans, even though a lot of light-skinned Africans like me suffered just as much, and really sometimes if not worse, because if, like, just to explain, growing up in South Africa, we had Black is Beautiful slogan in the townships where Black people lived. So there was a period there when I was growing up, if you were dark-skinned, you were considered beautiful. I don't mean every dark-skinned person was beautiful, but if you were beautiful and dark-skinned, you always won, okay? The beauty contest. By beauty contest, I mean within your family or your friends or people you know. People would say, oh, she's so beautiful. Nomkita, that means there's something about her that is so beautiful, right? And for me, as a kid who was very light-skinned, I got all sorts of ridicule. People would say things like, oh, look at her, you know, like, oh, the only reason she looks pretty is because she's light-skinned. If she was dark-skinned, she would be so ugly. You know, as if, you know, being beautiful dependent on the color of your skin. And I just felt like, you know, like, it's easy to fall into those traps. And because we are trying to correct, and sometimes we can overcorrect and forget that moving forward we should really present a more diverse Africa, and I think that will serve us well. And second of all, on the issue of colorism in South Africa today, okay, remember during apartheid, it was important for Black people to feel beautiful and to feel proud of who they are. I mean, really, for all time, we should all feel beautiful. But in South Africa now, post-apartheid, you would expect people to be more woke, if that's the right word. But there's a lot of you know, people refer to light-skinned South Africans as yellow bone, and everybody wants this yellow bone, which I find as disgusting in my view as saying that because a light-skinned black person is light-skinned, they must either be mixed or they're not as beautiful, right? Because they are light-skinned. To me, that's just as disgusting. So the point I wanted to leave here is that we should, in my view, promote inner beauty. By that I mean, whether your child is dark-skinned or light-skinned, they should feel beautiful, and they should feel like there are people like them that they can look up to. And it should never be about you are beautiful compared. It should always be, oh, you are so beautiful, so the child feels beautiful and not compare themselves to someone else. I've seen a lot of people feeling like they have a permission to attack people who are light-skinned because, you know, that's the trend nowadays, and I don't think it will serve us. We will always be going back and forth. I think moving forward, we should have 100% representation of African people, and I think we should we should teach all our children that they are beautiful, not beautiful compared, okay, that they are beautiful. And I think that's what I want you to take away from this. And again, the critique is not about the movie itself, but the general view of what colorism, and whether that experience of what it means to be dark skin or light skin can make us go down the wrong path. So I hope I hope that I've added value to the conversation without taking away from the movie, and I hope that you will tell me below what you thought of what I just said, and whether you've had a different experience than I am. Remember, as I said, this is not about being very dark or very light or whatever. This is about making sure that the African human color spectrum is always presented in a way that's accurate and that serves Africans, okay? In my next video, I'm going to talk about whether African women should have weaves, and I've changed my mind. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And again, welcome to my channel, to those who are new, and to those who've been here, please don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? Put that thumbs up, because apparently it's important on YouTube for people to like your video, okay? So